How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today we're going to take a look at this Creality 40-watt laser cutter and engraver. This is something I've cut with this machine already, and it's a screwdriver holder. As an engineer, I don't really care about decoration too much unless I'm engraving something to show what kind of screwdriver it is. If you're cutting wood, there's all these black marks across the cutting surfaces. So it has this laser cut look. There's also the issue of it's difficult because you have to learn a CAD program, draw a vector file, think of things in 3D and how to assemble something together like this. In terms of utility, how much can you save by printing as much laser cut stuff as possible and then using these designs for yourself, and then maybe you don't have to buy a certain product because you have a custom made thing like this. I feel like if you go to Harbor Freight, you can probably buy a screwdriver holder. This being a machine over $1,000, you're gonna probably have a really hard time produce enough stuff that's worth $1,000 to use yourself. So the only way to make it economically work is if you're using it as a business and you're printing stuff and selling them. For a laser cutter, it allows you to be a hobbyist and make a lot of custom things just like this. And it allows your creativity to go wild. You can think of anything that you want, cut it out like this. The cutting time is like less than 5 minutes and it did all of this. As compared to 3D printing, it takes many hours. Basswood up to 15 millimeter, walnut plywood up to 5 millimeter, walnut plywood up to 5 millimeter, and it can cut opaque acrylics up to 3 millimeters. If you want to cut metal, you need a much more powerful machine, enough to punch through thin sheets of metal. So keep these aspects in mind when you're thinking about getting one on your own. You have the main unit itself, 40-watt laser for cutting, 1.6-watt laser for engraving. Couple of sample boards to cut. This is the bottom tray. You have these protective shields for the cover. There are frames to hold these covers in place, so it goes over that. A light bar, a camera module so you can monitor your cuts, and you have a whole mess of these metal bars. This allows you to form a cutting surface for the laser. And of course your manual, some screws, 2 USB-C cables, the power adapter, pump for the air, tools, a gauge to allow you to adjust the laser height, protective goggles, and a bunch of other miscellaneous parts. We'll get the 2 aluminum strips first. There's one that says fan and one that says light. This is the strip with the USB camera. The connector's on this side. I flipped it upside down so we can attach it easier. Put in the countersunk screws, twist the Allen wrench like this, and it goes in a lot faster. Tighten them. Turn this over and connect the other piece upside down as well. Tighten it. The side with the wording is the front of the machine, and we need to remove this first. Flip it over, also remove the film. And then slide it in through the inner track. This is the bottom support bar, and we need to put this over here. I'm kind of threading this over the sheet, and then I'm pulling it in to align it with the rails, like that. And it just kind of holds itself together. Lock it in place with the countersunk screw. Put the screw on the other side. Hold the middle piece somewhat towards the middle. And as you're turning it, you can wiggle the back piece a little bit to make it turn easier. And finally, tighten it. There's this other piece with 3 stripes of metal. We do need to remove the plastic film first, and also the one in the back. Flip it over. There are 16 screws in total. I removed each 4 and peeled these guys off from underneath here. Just makes it a little neater because I get annoyed if there's a little bit of plastic sticking out. This lip right here goes on the outside. So we turn it around like this. The inner track is where this goes. So you want this guy to slide on the outer track. We attach this lighted crossbeam. The felt piece goes upwards like this, and screw it in. Screw in the other side. There's a fan on the side. The tracks are the same width on both. Slide this right on and secure into place. On the laser module, there's an air inlet. So we gotta remove the tubing, connect it to the top of the laser module. So there's enough slack on the tubing to go back and forth. We also have the power connection for the laser module, and there are 2 Velcro pieces for cable management. Connect the power to the laser module, just push it in. Put the power cable into the rest of the clips and secure these 2 together. Sort of space them out evenly, like so. Try that again. It hits this a little bit. Adjust that. That's a little bit better. Now I push this aside to install the slats in the middle. Put it to roughly the right height. Position it so that the sharp edge is towards the top. For putting them vertically, you want to skip a slot. We'll do the second one. It covers the entire bottom. Alternatively, you can pull them up, turn it horizontally, and lay them flat in the center area here. Then you'll have more of a solid surface to work on. Now we can put in the bottom drawer. There is a little ball bearing to make it slide easier. Put this right in. Put the top hood on. The opening part goes towards the front. Put in the piece with the fan, but we need to remove this protective film. Also on the other side, I'm going to remove these screws so I can remove this protective film that's stuck underneath. Here we are. Use these round head screws to attach to all the points around. Plexiglass tends to be a bit brittle, so I would only tighten them lightly. Now we turn it to the other side. Attach the other piece. Remember to remove the protective film. There's a switch for the hole, so let's put it on there. Attach the screws just by using the Allen wrench with the little side on the end. If you put it on the long side, you'll have too much leverage and you could crack the plexiglass. Turn it back towards the front. Connect the light bar to the main unit. Connect the fan plug. Thread the cable along this channel on the side. This is the exhaust pipe and the clamp. If I pull it completely straight, it reaches about 3 lengths of this. This is about 70 to 75 inches long. Air assist pump, it pumps air into the machine to help with airflow. Connect it with this piece of tubing into this hole. Remove the film. The bottom has this flexible rubber feet. Put it on here, it just kind of rocks on its own. This is the filter. If it gets clogged, you need to clean it. And remove this plug, and we'll plug our air into it. The power cable to the air pump goes in here. Adjust the airflow rate with this little knob here. Now connect the power supply, and over here, comes with the safety glasses. And I made a design for a screwdriver holder. It's always been kind of hard to handle and figure out which one is which. So I want to make like a little holder so I know where each one is all the time. So we just put this in and we're gonna home it. There's a software called Laser GRBL. It's a freeware. However, you cannot use this machine as a standalone. That's why we're here at my desk. The USB is connected to my PC. Lightburn is another software that works with this. With that, you can use it in offline mode to generate your files. Put it in the SD card over here, and it also works with the camera that's built in inside. Put the exhaust pipe so that it goes outside. So we click connect over here, and then I'm gonna do a frame, and it's gonna draw a square around all the things that we want to cut out at 3% power. So let's do that and see where it's gonna cut it. Looks like it's over there. Already made some lines over there towards the middle. So this looks good. We can start and cut it now. The recommendation is Creality Falcon 2 Pro 40 watt cutting basswood 3mm thick, 100% power at 850 millimeters per minute. 850 millimeters per minute, 100% power, dynamic power, create, and then start. Click this little play button here to start. Wear your safety goggles, and I already have it. I was gonna cut it now. Oh my gosh. Look at it, it's making holes. I drew those in FreeCAD and it's cutting it now. Oh, that's so awesome. I've had a laser engraver before. It's not as powerful as this laser. This one can actually cut through this 3mm basswood up to all the way 15mm basswood. So that's really thick. How did I come up with this design? I just kind of guessed. The little notches to try to help it get glued together. You can see some of those notches just fell right through after it cut the square hole. Right now I am wearing these green glasses to protect my eyes, just in case any kind of laser gets leaked out. You want to be very careful with this type of stuff so you don't damage your eyes. It can happen in a fraction of a second. I guess it can go back and cut. It doesn't have to do a continuous cut actually. We can see a little bit of the laser over there. All right, it's done. Just let it run for a little bit more so that the exhaust fumes get sucked out. Push it out of the way manually like that. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. It just falls right out. Okay, so this is supposed to be like that. I want two pieces because I can't actually combine them together because it's right in the middle of my design. And let's see how well it fits together. This is the top piece. Supposed to look something like that. You can try to put my screwdriver on here first. Whoop. Nope, I gotta glue it together first. It happens to fit just right in this 3D printed vise. So I'm just gonna glue all this together. Apply glue to all the right sides and insert it in there. Before it all dries, I can go and wipe off some of the excess glue in the corners. Make sure the holes are aligned and everything looks good. Put it in the clamp, tighten it up. And I'm just using this like wood glue so we can just come back the next day and it should be pretty solid. It's the next day, put the Phillips screwdriver in the first 3 slots and I made the diameter of these holes about 0.5 millimeter wider to make it easier to put in. The next 3 is the flathead screwdrivers going from big to small. I did make a mistake because this is tilted forward because this inner piece is a tiny bit smaller than this outer piece by the width of that laser. And I'm probably wasting this space here, so I can put in a bunch of holes and put in more screwdrivers here as well. So I can use regular screwdrivers and flatheads in the front, and when I need hexes or torxes, I can flip it over and it'll be accessible on the other side. I have some rubber feet over here with an adhesive backing. The backing to the feet are not used, so I cut a little strip of this thin stuff and put it right along the lip over here. Now when I measure, it's a lot straighter. This is good enough for me, I think. It looks good. And it has the additional feature of having a little bit more grip, so it doesn't slide around as much. Overall, I'm quite happy with this. There is some iteration that's necessary in order to make it very good. As is, I can already use this, and it definitely will make these screwdrivers a lot more useful to me. If you guys are interested in this Creality Falcon 2 Pro laser cutter and engraver, it comes in 22 watt or 40 watt. Check out my affiliate link down in the video description below. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time.